Okay, in the previous class, we have started discussing the standard files. Uh, the three standard files that we have started is one is the a keyboard, the standard input. Uh, Another one is standard output. One more is the error file. These are the three different standard files that we have started discussing. The three files are one is the standard input, another one is the standard output, one more is the standard error. See, this standard input is nothing but in the console, see in the terminal, if you enter something, who is responsible for to take the input and give it to the kernel for further actions. That is what we are talking about, the standard input. The Unix operating system, with the operating system itself, you are going to get all these three files, the standard input file, the standard output file, and the standard error file. See, these files, what they are doing is just these files are being connected to some default devices. The standard input is connected to the keyboard. The standard output file, thereby connected to the display, means the output screen. And also the standard error is also connected to the display screen. Connected is nothing but the address of that particular device is known to that particular file. That is the meaning of that. The address of those devices is known to that file. Whenever we enter something on the keyboard like this, WC, if I enter WC and if I enter anything on the keyboard, see there, hi, hello everyone is been received by the standard input. Who has called that standard input? The shell is responsible to bring that standard input file to get the information, hi, hello everyone, and then it is going to give that information to the WC, word count. That then the word count command will be executed by the kernel and it will give you the output as 1318. This is what the standard input is all about. The standard input can be, if we get from three ways. It can get from directly from the keyboard, just now what I have shown, or else using this less than symbol. Using this redirection symbol, you are going to get the input, or the pipeline symbol. I'll show the pipeline in the future class. See this, like this, WC less than sample.txt. The content is inside the sample.txt. That input is the direction indicates that that will be given to the command WC. Then what the shell will do is whenever you execute this command, it will open this sample.txt. It will read the content. Then by default, the standard input file, it knows the address of keyboard. But now the input is going to get it from the file disk. In the hard disk, the sample.txt is there. From the disk, since it is going to get, it is going to unplug from the default source and it is going to assign to the sample.txt. Then it will read the file and then it will give it to the WC command. Then the kernel will execute this WC with that input and it will show you the output. That is the another way of the standard input will get the file. A pipeline, the third way, I'll show it in the future classes. The standard output is this, like this. The standard output means whenever you enter something on the screen, so you will get the output here. Who is responsible for to bring the output? By default, in order to show the output of the command, it will be directly shown on the terminal display. Therefore, the default location will be, it will be on the terminal itself, the output. The another position is Using the redirection symbol, you are going to pass it to the other files. You are going to pass the output to the other file. That is the second way of the standard input can send it to the another destination. One more is through the pipeline, you are going to send it to the other program as an input itself. You are going to send it to the other program as the input. That is the another way. This is what we have stopped. This is where we have stopped in the previous class, that is standard error. See, whenever we execute, see, wc dum.txt. See, if I enter this wc, the dum.txt file is not there in my system, in that directory. Since it is not there, the standard error automatically that file will throw the output of the kernel on the terminal. Since the default device of the standard error is also a terminal display, it is going to throw the output on the screen. This is the standard error file which has thrown the output on the screen. Who is the responsible for that? You know that there is a file descriptor. Since you in the C program you have written some file program, whenever you open a file, remember, whenever you open a file, that file will return you the handle. Fopen will give the file name. You will open it in the read mode or the write mode in some way. Then there will be a return type for that file, open file. That is called as a file handler, or that is also called as a file descriptor. What is that file descriptor? Is some number. It's a unique number. That unique number that is maintained by the kernel. In the Unix operating system, the kernel will maintain the table of file descriptors. Why so much table? Because so many processes will be running in the system, and each process is going to use so many files. That is why some of the files may be opened in the read mode or in the write mode. That is why the kernel will maintain the table of file descriptor. Remember the numbers. 0 is assigned for standard input, 1 is assigned for standard output, 2 is assigned for standard error. These descriptors, that numbers is assigned for these three files. You have to use these numbers whenever you use the standard errors. I'll show one example how to use this number. See the file name cat foo. There is no such file or directory, because this is directly the cat file fails to open that file, and directly it will write to the standard error. The standard error it has thrown on the terminal. The same output, I want to write that output, the error output, into a file. I want to write the error output cat foo. This file, since it is not there, but I don't want to see the output on the terminal, I want to write that error output to the new file hell.txt. See, it is not possible to write that error output to the hell.txt, because here the standard error, if you are going to use with the redirection operator, you have to inform the number. The standard error number is 2. The standard error number is 2. That is why if you use like this, 2 greater than, then it is going to write that output to that file. See, cat is nothing but open the content of that file, cat hell.txt. It is showing the content as no such file or directory. See, in this case, it has shown the content. The error output has been written. This 2 indicates the standard error file, you want to write the output of this command into the new file. If you just use the redirection operator, it is not going to write. In the same way, whenever you use the standard output file, the standard output is, let us say, some file, Control L. I'll move to the some directory dirOct. Inside this ls, so many files are there. Where we'll check cat hello.txt whether content is there. Yes, content is there. I don't want that. I'll open count.txt. Cat chap1. One is there, no, two. Okay, see, in the there is a file called chap2. In that, so much of content is there. Yes. Now that chap2 content wc chap2 file, I want to redirect to the hello.txt. Here, since I am doing the standard output file, I am going to access here. There is no standard input here. The content of this chapter 2, execution of this output of this, I want to directly write it to hello.txt. In this case, I know the redirection, the number for the standard output is 1. If I use that, you are going to get hello.txt. See, 780, 470, 7 lines are there, 80 words, 470 characters. The file name is chapter 2. It has written all the content to this. 1 greater than symbol means, redirection symbol means standard output file. If there is any, in the same way, if you use this 2, whenever you have to use the 2 is for the standard errors. This is redirection symbol. Redirecting the standard errors requires the use of the file descriptors. Redirecting the standard output doesn't require the file descriptor number, but redirecting the standard error requires the use of this file descriptor. This numbers 2 is for standard error, 1 is for standard output, 0 is for standard input. Remember, redirection. Why this number? What is this number? I think everything is clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask now. Anyone can raise your hands. I'll unmute them. You can ask. Please send your attendance. Then I'll continue with the class. The next is, that is all about the standard errors. See, there are some commands where they use both the standard input and also the standard output. Which are those files are mkdir, remove directory, change directory. These are the things, they neither use the standard input or standard output, that we have already seen. The copy command, move command, remove command, both all those commands, they don't use the standard input or the standard output. There are commands like the ls, listing the file, present working directory, who is the user. They don't read the standard input, but directly they write it to the output screen, which are the files, which is the present working directory, who are the users, everything they are directly going to write. they use only standard output. To print, LP command line printer, that reads the standard input, but they are directly it is going to print it using the printer. They don't write it to the standard output. This is another command where which reads the standard input but don't write it to the standard output. There are some commands where they use both standard input and standard output. They are content, seeing the content of the file, word count, compare. They use both the standard input and standard output. One example is this. See here, cat calculation.txt. See, we'll clear. We'll check. There is a file called cat calculation.txt. See, there is a content of that file is 2 plus 10, 2 to the power of 10, 1000 plus 5000. I want the result of these three. Some operation, arithmetic operation. This is the power symbol, 2 power 10 exponential. Then 6000. This is the answer I'm going to expect. What I'll do is I'll write the command in such a way that compute the content which is there in the calculation.txt, add it and write the output to the result.txt. Two things I am going to do in this command. BC is going to compute arithmetic operations, from where it is going to read it from calculation.txt. This less than symbol indicates give the output, the standard input file, give the input to this BC. Then that command output, you write it to this redirection symbol says that write the output to the result.txt. Now enter. We will check the result.txt now. Cat result.txt. See there, 12, 1024, 2 to the power of 10 is 1024, 1000 plus 5000, 6000. This is the best example for the command which uses standard input file and also standard output file. Standard input file is this because it is going to read it from the hard disk, calculation.txt. And where the standard output file, this output is being returned to the result.txt. This is a command, one example of writing using both the standard input and output at the same time. We'll go to the next chapter, that is the pipes. What is this pipes is, from the beginning I'm mentioning this word. There are some pipes, there are some filters. What is these pipes and filters are all about is, see this. Here is one command, who user.txt. What it is going to give, who means who is the user. In my case, who is the user? The root is the user. In my case, root is the user. In the same way, in the slide, the example, what you are seeing it here, there are 5 users are there. Root, Romeo, Juliet, project, Andrew. There are 5 users are there. WHO greater than symbol user.txt, redirection symbol user.txt means all the users that is been returned to the user.txt. In order to check the content of that file, cat user.txt. To check the content, user.txt. Then you have seen the output. I want to count if there are more number of files are there. I manually don't count. I'll use the WC -L, which will give you the line numbers. I'll use the line numbers WC-L less than user.txt. The input yet is going to get it from the user.txt. It is giving you 5 lines. 5 lines means there are 5 users are there. In order to get this output 5, how many users are there? I have to execute 1, 2, 3 commands. In order to get the number of users in the system, I have to execute 3 commands. Now I'm going to save my time by executing the single command using these pipes. Using the pipes, I'll reduce the execution time and also the number of commands. How? We'll see now. The problem with the running these 2 commands is, whenever, if the command is very big, the long running commands, it will take some time. Since it takes some time, you cannot execute the second command until it completes the first command. You cannot execute the second command. That is why, that is one disadvantage without the pipes if you execute. And one more is, user.txt file is you have created, but it is of no use. Once you get to this number 5, there is no use of this user.txt. You have to manually delete it. This user.txt intermediate file that you have created in order to store this output, then that output, it is an input for the WC. Intermediate files that you have created, that is of no use once you get this output 5, that you have to delete it once again. These are the 2 disadvantages. For that, what we do is we use piping. What is this piping is? Command 1, this pipe symbol, in the keyboard you can see where the backslash is there, that backslash, the other key is the pipe symbol or symbol that you already know. Command 1 followed by command 2. Then if you want one more commands, command 3. This is how you are going to join the multiple commands. How it going to execute is, this command output is an input for the command 2. Output of the command 1 is piped into the input for the command 2. We'll see one example. See now, ls-l. See, it is giving so many files. I want to know the number of lines. I want to know the number of files which are there in that directory. ls-l pipe symbol wc-l. wc-l. See, ls-l pipe symbol wc-l indicates it gives the output 32. What is that 32 is? 32 files are there inside this folder. Which folder? Root home folder. 32 files are there. Say this. Instead of counting, what I did is, the output of this ls-l give that output is an input to the word count -l. This -l is indicates just give me the line numbers. Just give me the line numbers. This is what the pipe symbol. That is the meaning of pipe symbol. One more command is who wc-l. How many users? Pipe symbol wc-l. Two users. That is the one. The only the one user. The root. It is another temporary user that is been by default. It has been created by the OS. That is the main user. That is the root. In this way, this pipe symbol you have to use. The output of the first command is an input for the second command. This is what piping is all about. Displays number of currently logged in users. Displays number of files in the current directory. Just connect the commands using pipe symbol. See, in the background, how it exactly it is being executed is, all those programs is going to simultaneously, it is going to execute. By default, the pipes have a built-in mechanism to control this standard input stream and standard output stream. By default, the pipe symbol knows how to control the flow, because one cannot be faster than the other. They have to simultaneously, they have to go. Why is, see, before, until WHO gives the output, the WC-L cannot execute. WHO, until it gives the output, this WC-L cannot get the input. This WHO, it is going to execute by the kernel, then it is going to call the standard output file, standard output stream, then that is going to be given to the WC-L. Directly it is not going to give, it is going to give it to the standard input file. From there it will be read for WC-L. That is what I said. The drivers, the control of that flow of those streams. Stream is nothing but standard input file and standard output file. It has to be adjusted. That mechanism, it is already, it is built in within the pipe. And also the command of the left of the pipe symbol always will use the standard output, because it will give you the output. This file, it has to give the output. That is why it will use the standard output file. This second one, it will always use the standard input. That is why it is going to call the standard input file. First command, left of the command, standard output file. Right of the command, standard input file is going to be accessed. If you have any doubts in this pipe symbol, you can ask now. Anyone do have any doubts in this pipe? If I, both has to, they'll going to run simultaneously, but where they have to stop, everything is being known to the pipe symbol. It knows how to balance it. When it has to stop, when it has to wait for the output of the first command, it will wait. It has started execution and it is getting ready, but it wants the input from this first command. Then it will stop, then it will get the output from the first command, then it will execute. This control mechanism, it is inbuilt, built in already pipe, within the pipe it is there. The next is, after the pipes, the main thing with the Unix is, one is pipes, another one is filter. One is pipe, another one is filter. We'll discuss this filters, searching for the specific character, searching for the specific word in the content. If there are 1,000 lines, in that I want the word file. The word file, wherever it is there, I want to display it. Search for some patterns. That patterns, if you want to search, you can search with this command. This is a filter. The command grep is a filter. That we'll discuss in the next class. Grep command, all these things. And I have sent you the syllabus of the first test IA. Please execute the commands and then only you can attend the test. This much of will be there for your test. Introduction, Unix chapter, file attributes and permission, the shell interruptive cycles, this connecting commands. Shell programming we'll see for the next internals. Till here it will be there for your IA1. Please execute the commands. You will get the questions like this. Write the output for these commands, or if we'll give the output, you have to write the command for that. We'll meet you in the next class. Thank you.